welcome back. So today we are going to react to a relatively uh, old video from Lost Salaryman in Japan. I want to see this video like very much. See the like typical lifestyle in Japan and stuff. I'm jobless now at the moment, so I want to see how they are doing in the thing. So the link to this video is in the description. So make sure you guys drop by a oh, he says almost like 100,000 subscriber. So I subscribe to him. This is the blank tab browser. Yeah, let's get into it.
When you look at Japan from the outside, maybe it looks something like this. A perfect advanced country where people study hard, get a good job and work properly. Everyone has an ikigai, a purpose in life.
Wow.
And they work smoothly from morning till night.
I don't have any.
Trains are almost never late, the streets are clean, and crime feels low. Salarymen with samurai spirit quietly sacrifice their lives for the company and keep the Japanese economy running. Japanese people just love working. They're so disciplined. I think a lot of people still see Japan through.
I don't like. I don't think that the. I don't think that the outside world thought that Japanese people love working because the work abuse or the hellish overtime hours pretty famous outside Japan. I I think that they work hard, not they love working.
Through that kind of clean, beautiful story.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality behind that story is very different from what you probably imagine. At least for me, I'm definitely not working this much because I love my job. My boss doesn't love his job. My friends don't love their jobs. Even my parents, as far as I know, don't love their jobs either. What keeps us moving isn't passion. It's fear. Fear of being left behind. Fear of disappointing people. Fear of falling out of the circle and becoming someone who never makes it back in. That's the scariest part. Hey, I'm 23, a first-year salaryman working in Shibuya.
He's 23. That means he's a fresh grad, and he's already working in Shibuya. It's pretty good.
Shibuya, Tokyo. I take home about 100.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa. $20, $30 mil. It's pretty good. No, it's not pretty good. It's fucking gorgeous. Okay, if this uh if 170,000 yen converted to roughly about 1100 USD, so it probably will be around 25 million VND. First fresh grads it's impossible to get in Vietnam. I think there's some exception, uh, like um, like you have to graduate top of the class of the school or whatever it is, But it's really impossible to get this much money when you are just a fresh graduate. Um, probably the for my from my perspective, when I first grad, it's about in 2018. It's about um, mm, 300 USD. Yeah, it's about that. It's in my field, that's 300 USD, like average for the um the first year you working as a freshman. So now it's about what is that? About 5 or 600, maybe. I don't know, but it's very high paying job of him.
70,000 yen a month. That's pretty average for a new grad in
Average,
Japan.
right?
On heavy days,
Or maybe their lifestyle is cost more, so the money is it's just like worth it. Probably in Tokyo, Shibuya is very expensive to live.
I work around 15 hours.
Jesus.
Recently, a doctor quietly told me, it looks a bit like an adjustment disorder.
Okay.
Even so, I can't just quit. So tomorrow again, I'll crush myself.
Wait, 15 hour a day. 24 hour minus 15 is 9 hour. So if he like minus the sleeping part, let's say 6 hours, okay? Uh, he have what, 3 hours of free time? Jesus Christ!
Into a rush hour train and walk into the office with a straight face, like nothing's wrong. In today's video, why Japanese salarymen work so much? Why do Japanese salarymen work at such an insanely unhealthy level? I've boiled it down to 7 main reasons, and I'll talk through them from my point of view. 23 years old, working in Shibuya, first
And he just got this first year. Probably he still has that fire, to contribute and thing. Back then, I was working for a small company. Even though it's pay low, but everyone is so friendly, and they don't care if I go late. So it's very feel comfortable for me.
first year out of university, some experience living abroad, trying to survive on a 170,000 yen paycheck.
Okay.
Think of this video as the underground manual to Japan, the advanced nation of overwork. The side you'll never see in cute travel vlogs or feel-good Japan content. By the time you finish this video,
This feels ecstatic as fuck, mate. If I have money, I'm gonna create an alley street like this feel in Vietnam. If I have money, so I can, have a little bit of corner, Japan corner in my alley.
feel-good Japan content. By the time you finish this video, I think you'll see 2 things differently. What it actually costs to work in Japan, and how comfortable or messed up your own country's work culture is when you compare it to this one. First, there's one thing I need to make clear. These 7 reasons I'm about to share are not safe facts I copied from the news or business books. They're hypotheses from someone inside the system. A 23-year-old commuting to an office in Shibuya every day. This is how I see things.
So probably they work on Sunday as well. Wait, what the fuck?
And this isn't just random complaining. It's a story about where I think the bugs are in Japanese society. So let me walk you through it.
we mean?
Reason 1. Japan isn't efficient and hard.
Japan isn't efficient and hardworking. It's slow, so no, but oh, so it's because the process is slow and everybody is slow. Okay, I can see that.
Working. It's slow, so nobody goes home. From abroad, I think a lot of people assume something like this. Japan is so efficient. That's how they can work such long hours. Their productivity per hour must be really high. It's such a high-tech country.
Okay.
Let me be blunt.
Okay.
Most of that image is just wrong.
Wow.
In a huge number of Japanese companies, work is simply slow.
Okay.
Decision making is slow. Meetings drag on forever. There's way too much pointless documentation.
Okay.
And more than anything, there are too many people whose main skill is avoiding responsibility.
Sure, but how the fuck is that fit in this image? What?
So what happens? A decision that should take 30 minutes turns into a 2-hour meeting and still gets taken back for further discussion. Something that could be handled with one email becomes a 10-slide deck that people read out loud.
Wow. So, no, I think it's depend on the field and on the job. Because in construction, I work in construction. We probably have this kind of problem, but not that much, you know. Let's continue.
Things frontline staff should be able to decide on the spot, get sent up and down the ladder for stamps and approvals. And
Wow, if that thing happened like in an incentive way, the frontline staff just get like fucking hard-boiled shit. So probably they would avoid the responsibility, you know.
everything gets stuck. In other words, Japanese salarymen don't work long hours because we're so efficient we can handle it. We work long hours because we're so inefficient that we can only cover it by throwing time at the problem. Japan is regularly near the bottom group in labor productivity among OECD countries. That's not just a meme. That's the data. Here's how I see it. At the root of Japanese work culture, there's this habit. We value the person who stays late at the office more than the person who finishes fast and goes home.
Yeah. Yeah, same here. Same in Vietnam. If you so it's not like that. It's the what is that called? The person high up often doesn't really care much about the productivity. I mean, as long as the work is flowing. So they probably see that, oh, whoever work longest hour probably work you know, like it's hard working, you know. It's not like the what is that called, the productivity of that person matter, you know. It's just the, yeah, value the person who stay late than the person who leave early. That's all.
So the person who wraps up quickly and leaves on time looks like they're not working hard enough. And the person who crawls along slowly but stays late looks like they're really dedicated.
Yep.
And on top of that, there's the famous seniority system. Nenko Joretsu. In many companies, your salary isn't really based on how good you are at your job, but how long you've been sitting in that company. The extreme version of this is what we call Mado Giwazoku, the window tribe. These are people who sit by the office window all day, basically doing almost nothing, but somehow still getting paid really well. There's an old joke about them. A guy sitting by the window, earning 20 million yen a year, was nicknamed Windows 2000.
Wow.
like the old Microsoft OS.
Okay.
Now that remote work is more common, people who stay at home and still don't really do anything get called Windows 2000 Home Edition.
Jesus.
And people like me who work basically 365 days a year, like corporate livestock, we're called Office 365.
Nice. Very nice.
Whoever came up with that, honestly, I think they're a genius. But seriously, if your company is full of people who do nothing and still get paid a lot, it kills your motivation. At some point, you start thinking, why am I the only one rushing to finish things? It doesn't change anything. And once that thought hits, it's easy to slide into fine, I'll just stay here longer too. That's what everyone else is doing anyway.
True.
On top of that, Japanese workplaces are built on things like reading the air and honne and tatemae, your true feelings versus your social mask. Even when people think this system is clearly broken, they hold it back and say nothing
Oh,
because they don't want to upset their boss or coworkers.
that's true.
I think that's a pretty deep cultural bug. There's another twist. Labor
That sounds insufferable. Suffocating. Suffocating, yeah.
laws are actually quite strong. On paper, employees are heavily protected, but evaluation systems are weak, so it's very hard to actually fire people who barely work. And all the tasks that somebody has to do quietly get dumped on the younger staff.
Of course.
In a lot of Western companies,
Obviously, isn't
at
it,
least in
eh?
theory, meetings look more like 30 minutes, only the people who actually need to be there, clear agenda beforehand.
Yep.
In many Japanese companies, it's still everyone joins, no clear purpose. We just read the slides together and watch the clock melt. That's the
Why?
reality of this
Wow.
so-called overwork superpower. So the first reason Japanese people work such long hours is simple. It's not that we're fast and therefore can handle long hours. We're slow,
Wow.
so we
that's
can't go
surprise,
home.
You know, that's really surprise.
Reason 2.
Okay.
It's not my company is my family. It's if I leave, I become the traitor.
Oh, okay.
The
This is
next
different.
image a lot of foreigners seem to have is this. Japanese people treat their company like family.
Okay.
They have lifetime employment, so everyone feels safe staying in one place forever, right?
Nope.
That image as an official system is already outdated.
Oh,
Lifetime
outdated.
employment has almost collapsed on paper.
Okay.
Even the president of Toyota has said that lifetime employment is hard to maintain. But what hasn't really changed is what's inside people's heads.
Okay.
In Japan, even now, there's this air. If you stay at the same company for a long time, you're solid and respectable. If you quit after a short time, you're weak, childish, and can't endure anything.
Yeah, that's about right. Not the first sentence, but the second sentence to me, it's can apply to my mind actually.
That air is still stuck to the ceiling of a lot of offices. And that atmosphere does something
But you know, when the salary is suck, obviously that younger people these days they don't fucking care about the company because they're living paycheck to paycheck already. They're just gonna see, okay, this one may pay better. Fuck off. I just leave. That's all.
dangerous. Even when people know, this job doesn't fit me. Even when they're thinking, I seriously want to quit. More and more of them end up erasing quit from their own list of options.
Not gonna lie, I I don't have that problem because the first company that I work is relatively small, but um, it's very comfortable. I gotta know of everyone in the company. From the boss to even the boss family, blah 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 blah. But I'm just tired of the work. You know, fucking suck actually. Um, I can't even handle the pressure as well. It make my stomach hurt, so I just quit. After that, quitting is much easy. Not gonna lie, much easier.
Meanwhile, seniority is still alive and well. Young workers get low pay but carry a lot of the workload.
Yep.
Older employees get higher salaries mainly because they've been here longer.
True.
So young workers basically become cheap, high-output batteries. Low-cost pieces that are expected to work long hours by default. In many countries, the mindset is more like, if it doesn't fit, change jobs. If you perform well, you can earn good money even in your 20s. That's considered normal.
Okay, true.
In Japan, even now, the moment you say, I'm leaving, people react like traitor. You just can't handle anything.
Wow, it's very unlikely. So, in my case, I have quit 2 companies now, only 2. But the people in companies still hanging out with me, and we go to drinkings and yeah, drinkings all the time. That's really, really like different from I imagine in Japan.
Young people these days. In my company too, people talk a lot of trash behind the backs of coworkers who quit. That culture definitely exists. Here's how I see it. The second reason Japanese salarymen work so much isn't because they love their company. It's because leaving this painful place feels even scarier than staying in it. So people keep enduring. If I just hold on a few more years, maybe my salary will finally go up.
Wait, so they don't actually increase your salary by year. They just hope to increase salary. I think fuck. This is my mindset in the first year, you know. I don't give a shit about salary, but mainly because I don't have anything responsible to. But after years they work, probably everyone in Vietnam will ask, okay, can I get my salary up? Yeah.
If I just hold on a few more years, maybe my salary will finally go up. If I quit now, maybe I'll never find another job. If I stay a bit longer, maybe I'll actually learn to like it. They keep negotiating with themselves like that. Little by little, we get trained to prioritize the company's schedule over our own life's timeline.
Oh my god.
Reason 3. It's not we're workaholics. It's saying I need rest is scarier than burning out.
Wow.
From the outside, Japanese people often look like hardcore workaholics.
Okay.
They must really love their jobs.
No.
They must actually want to stay late. I'll say this clearly. Most Japanese people are not overworking because they love their job.
Okay.
What we're addicted to isn't work itself. We're addicted to playing the role of the version of ourselves that never lets anyone down. Japan even has a specific word,
I see.
karoshi, death from overwork. The fact that such a precise word exists as a normal term already tells you a lot about this country. And still, people push themselves. Why?
Yeah.
The logic is simple. In this society, saying I'm exhausted, I need to rest feels worse than saying I'm dying, but I'll come in.
What? That doesn't make any sense, doesn't it? In this.
The second one makes you sound like a good person. So we end up
So that. Okay, yeah. Japanese have something really annoying me, like this, for example. You know, um, they they want to sound like a good person more than anything. Jesus Christ.
prioritizing our boss's mood, our coworkers' opinions.
Yeah, it's suffocating, isn't it? No wonder there's so much manga about someone who quit in the city, moved back in the countryside, and see, oh, all that stuff is bullshit.
And one line on an evaluation sheet over our own body.
Yeah.
I think this is Japan's real addiction. We don't know how to step down from the role of the responsible one who never causes trouble.
Okay.
We want to be good. We don't want to disappoint anyone. We don't want to be a burden. Stack that mindset over.
Wait, so if all of them don't want to be a burden, but the boss being a burden to them, so why don't the boss like have that mindset? That doesn't really make any sense, doesn't it? Or still we still too young that we get out from the range of the old man boss, from born in the 1980 or 1970, probably 1980. We still have that kind of boss that work like to like yell at people and stuff. Probably, isn't it? And it's gonna be a fucking long century, love. Fuck me.
Years and long working hours become normal. Karoshi becomes something you just see on the news sometimes, say that's sad,
That's sad.
and then go back to work. In many countries, laws that limit working hours actually work in real life. Japan has laws too, but in this country, the atmosphere in the room is stronger than the law.
Of course.
So reason number 3 is this. Japanese people don't work this much just because of love for work or extra money. They work this much because in this culture, it feels safer to push yourself until you break than to simply say, I need to stop.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Reason 4.
Just like
It's not just polite culture.
CCTV. Oh,
It's like working under invisible CCTV. A lot of foreigners describe Japanese people as polite, respectful, quiet. And that's true in many ways. But there's another side. In Japanese society, there's an invisible camera that's always on. Its name is other people's eyes. From a young age, we're taught, don't cause trouble. Read the air. Do what everyone else is doing. So inside the office, things like this happen. Your work is finished, but nobody's leaving, so you stay too. You're just taking paid leave you're legally entitled to, but you apologize over and over like you did something wrong.
oh,
You don't want to go to the company drinking party, but you spend more time crafting a socially acceptable excuse than the party itself will actually take.
okay, true.
This isn't about official orders from your boss. It's something stronger. Orders from the air in the room.
Okay.
Here's my theory.
Jesus
Every
Christ.
Japanese office has a boss more annoying than your actual boss.
Yep.
That boss's name is what will everyone think. As long as that invisible boss exists, it's extremely hard for Japanese people to choose their own way of working.
Okay.
You think, I'm pretty sure it's okay if I go home now. But then another thought pops up. Yeah, but what will everyone think?
Oh.
And your hand quietly moves away from the power button. Behind all that politeness, what exists isn't just beauty or harmony. There's constant pressure to erase yourself and match the room.
Okay.
So reason number 4 is
They
this.
don't. They will seem like a naughty kid. Okay.
Japanese people don't stay late just because someone explicitly tells them to. They stay late because they're trapped in a space where no one orders them directly, but everyone is always watching. Reason 5. It's not we're crazy about work. It's we never had time to build a self outside of it.
Oh, true.
Japanese salarymen are often seen as workaholics, married to the company. People assume they're just job obsessed.
Wait. So what the heck did they? What the heck is the job? What did they do? You know. I work in like a consultant to construction. So we often in the office we just drawing plans, and stuff like that. So what the heck did they do? What did they do? You know? What the fuck?
My view is a bit different. I think a lot of people simply can't clearly describe who they are outside of their job. In other words, they never had the chance to build an identity that lives inside them.
Okay.
Japanese school and society set the goal like this: get into a good school,
Very true.
get into a good company.
Yep.
Reaching that point is treated like game clear.
Yeah. It's the same here, but probably less force, I think, because it's not like always the children here don't get taught uh to like blend in Japanese.
For life.
It's really hard
While
to
you're running
describe.
along that track, most people never really get time or space to seriously ask, what do I actually like?
Mm-hmm.
When do I feel most alive?
True.
What do I actually want to do with my life?
Yep, that dream question it's my question now. I'm still living at home in the basement. My parents' home actually in basement, watching this shit. I don't want to do any work. I feel like the any kind of type of work is not leading to me accomplish to anything, even money. I don't like work, so of course they're gonna pay less. I keep spending in nobody life and doesn't accomplish. Doesn't I don't accumulate something, and that thought alone is just bored to me.
By the time they notice, the company name and job title on their business card have become almost their entire self-introduction. This is just my hypothesis, but if we analyzed Instagram bios around the world, I'm pretty sure Japanese people would have an insanely high rate of listing their university and company name.
Yeah.
So when work becomes painful, the question, why don't you just quit, isn't simple. Because the follow-up question is, okay, and then who are you? I don't think Japanese salarymen are people who love work too much. I think they're often people who grew up without enough time or space to build an identity that can support them outside of work.
Okay.
When that happens, losing your job doesn't just mean losing income. It becomes the fear of losing your sense of self. That fear is stronger than overtime pay or vacation days. It's a deeper, heavier hook. So reason 5 isn't work is my passion. It's I was never really given the language or time to imagine who I'd be after letting go of my job. That to me is the core of it.
Yeah.
Reason
Much.
6. It's not we're paid so well that we grind harder. It's wages are
what?
too low to slow down. Japan is still called an economic powerhouse.
Okay.
In GDP rankings, it's still up there. When people hear Tokyo, they imagine a city where money is flowing everywhere. So a lot of people assume, if you work in Tokyo, your salary must be pretty decent, right? Let me say this clearly. For young workers, the pay is brutally low.
Oh my god.
So low that just living a normal life is tough.
Okay.
Take home 170,000 yen.
Now I live in Hanoi, so it's basically like Tokyo in Vietnam, or no, yeah, but it's not quite yet. We have Saigon or Ho Chi Minh City as well. It's like Tokyo as well. So 20, if this thing is third year graduate equally to 30 million, you can actually did that. It's your life will be pretty comfortable in the two biggest city in Vietnam. But if we consider the platform price for the living or living expensive, I'll say this much is about 10 million VND or 600 USD, which is, yeah, you guys struggling a lot. If you don't have a home, you have to pay rent, and rent now is really high. A decent room costs about two to $250. That's, yeah,
yen.
almost half of your fucking salary already.
That's about average for someone my age in their first year.
Okay,
Now drop that into real life in Tokyo.
sure.
Take home pay, minus rent, minus
food,
utilities, minus food.
Okay, we do not have student loans. So if your family can afford sending your kids to a university, and yeah, that's it. No student loan whatsoever. Social spend. Yep, doesn't think about this. Money for parents. I don't. My salary is too low. Basic stuff. Yeah.
Minus
Yep.
student loans, minus social expenses,
So
minus money for parents, minus basic daily stuff, equals basically zero. Sure, on paper there might be something you could technically call savings, but it's not the kind of money that can change your life.
Okay, so a month he can live out 10,000 yen. Okay, that's pretty low.
In my case, my monthly savings are around 3,000 yen.
Wow.
I already have friends who are in debt.
Wow.
At that point, the statement, "you shouldn't overwork," almost loses all meaning. Because for us, working less can simply mean not being able to survive.
Okay.
So a lot of young workers think like this. Without overtime pay, I can't pay rent. If I don't do some side job,
But
I'll
they
never
still get overtime pay, right?
save anything for the future. So don't overwork starts to sound like advice only people with solid safety nets can afford to say.
Yep.
A kind of luxury line for people who are already safe.
Yep.
My view is this.
Whoa. A long time.
Luxury line for people who are already safe.
Tokyo Go. Pretty decent. What is this?
My view is this. For many young workers in Japan, the real choice isn't healthy balance versus ambition. It's overwork or not being able to live at all. So reason 6 is simple. Japanese people work long hours because behind the scenes there's a reality where no real skills yet, low pay and weak safety nets leave us with only one practical option. Just keep selling our time.
Okay. Yep.
Reason 7. It's not global warriors.
Okay.
It's fear of falling out of a tiny domestic game.
What do you mean?
Finally, reason 7. From abroad, Japanese companies look like samurai corporations fighting on the global stage.
But we don't know any company outside of Japan. I mean, outside Japan, we do not know any company that is not a global corporation. Like we only heard about Sony, Honda, Nintendo, Sega. Is that Sega still a company? Probably. Lawson. Wait, is that Lawson is Japanese? I don't think so. Okay. Toyota. So basically like car and game and shit. We don't know actually about other domestic company. Okay, so why the hell?
Toyota, Sony, Nintendo. Those
That's
are the brands that probably come to mind.
Yep.
But everyday life for most salarymen is not a global battlefield.
Okay.
The enemies we actually face every day are the office air, internal politics, our boss's mood,
Okay.
the invisible lines of seniority and hierarchy.
Okay.
In other words, it's a super local, super inward-facing little game.
Jesus Christ. Probably same in Vietnam. Why some place work is suffocating.
Here's how I see it. Most Japanese salarymen aren't playing in an open-world global market. They're stuck inside a tiny arena called the Japanese corporate system. And the scariest thing isn't losing to global competitors. It's being kicked out of that small arena.
No.
Maybe I don't have skills the job market actually wants. I don't speak English, I can't go abroad.
Nothing seems
Outside Japan, maybe my value is zero. A lot of people keep those thoughts spinning in their head every day.
Yeah.
So people cling to the game they already know.
Yeah.
They work harder and harder just to not fall out of that narrow ring. They try not to get on their boss's bad side.
Wow.
They try not to fall behind
I would hate that. I would fucking hate that. Thank God I didn't born in Japan, mate.
their peers. They protect one tiny number on an evaluation sheet. They squeeze a little bit more out of a small paycheck. So reason 7 is this. Japanese people don't work this much because of some noble samurai spirit fighting the world. They work this much because the fear of falling out of a small domestic game keeps them running in circles.
Oh, Jesus.
If I put all 7 reasons together, this is the picture I see. We're living inside a slow system, carrying old values, feeling guilty for resting, surrounded by invisible surveillance, with no solid identity outside work,
True.
bound by low wages,
Yep.
afraid of falling out of a narrow domestic arena.
Okay.
So we end up tied to the same chair, day after day. If you're watching this from outside Japan, I have one request.
Yep.
Please, just once, throw away the idea that Japanese people just love working.
Okay.
My view is a lot simpler. It's not that Japanese people love working, it's that we were almost never given the freedom to choose a life where we don't have to.
Yep. True. Now I realize if they choose to like have a job or a lottery, of course everybody gonna be everybody gonna pick the lottery, because no one want to work. No one love that job. Obviously.
After this, I want to talk a bit more about work, about money, and about how I personally want to live inside this system.
Okay.
I've talked about the 7 reasons I think Japanese people overwork. So as a 23-year-old salaryman, stuck inside all of this, how do I want to live from here? Honestly, I don't have a perfect answer, not even close. I don't have the courage yet to just leave Japan. I don't have the money or the skills, and it's not like I fully believe in Japan's future either.
Okay.
But even so, there's one decision I've made.
And
I refuse to choose a life where I change nothing and slowly fall apart. I don't want to be some anime hero like Luffy from One Piece. I'm not trying to save the world. My goal is much smaller and more selfish. Protect my body and mind, just enough to stay alive, while slowly increasing the number of choices I have in life. That's really it. So for now, instead of trying to find some perfect right answer, I just want to choose 4 directions that really matter to me and start moving toward them. From here, I'll walk you through those 4 one by one.
okay, let's see.
Number 1. Stop giving 100% of myself to the company.
That I did really, really, really nice.
Japanese society loves to say, run until your tank is empty.
Wow, no.
But I think at some point I have to draw a line. I don't want to cut my sleep down to 0. I don't want to ignore it when my heart is pounding like it's going to explode. On days when I seriously think, I really should rest today, I want to choose my own life over my guilt. I know I won't do it perfectly. I'll slip, I'll cave, I'll go to work when I shouldn't. But at the very least, I want to keep one small rule. I will not hand over 100% of myself to the company.
So it's 2 months ago. Okay, it's about 2024, 2025. Yeah, young people these days will change their life because the drastic fucking shite of the economy. And actually,
Number 2.
like, I don't know. I don't know, man. I already thought of this fucking thing when I quit the first company. Even though it's the fun company, it's very comfortable for me, but shite.
Slowly build the power to choose a life outside this system.
Okay.
Right now, I don't have much money.
Mm-hmm.
My skills aren't enough.
Mm-hmm.
My understanding of the world is still surface level.
Yep.
But I don't want to say, so there's nothing I can do. I can study English. I
Yeah.
can learn how people work and live in other countries. I can research side jobs, freelancing, and different ways to earn. I can keep saving and investing, even tiny amounts. None of that will magically transform my life overnight, but that feeling of maybe I'm getting a little closer to a version of myself who could choose to leave Japan someday, if I wanted to, becomes a fragile but important support for my mental health. I don't have the courage to just buy a one-way ticket and leave next week. I don't have the luxury to quit my job tomorrow. So for now, the only strategy I have is to quietly stack knowledge, skills, and money in the background. Number 3. Use food and a camera as proof that I'm still alive. I have 2 big weapons, eating and capturing moments with a camera. Once in a while,
Yep,
using my
busy.
tiny paycheck, I buy myself a slightly better meal. Those moments remind me, I'm still a human being, not just a machine. I turn on the camera in Shibuya at night, on rush hour trains, in convenience stores, in front of cheap bentos, in front of my tired face. I film it and I put words on top of it. For me, those videos aren't just content for the algorithm. They're evidence that even inside this work culture, my ability to feel, think, and speak in my own words hasn't been completely erased. That's why I want.
That line is truly feel like a line from a dystopian movie or game. Fuck me. Well, I think he's very mature for his age. For probably Japanese people always like that.
They're evidence that even inside this work culture, my ability to feel, think, and speak in my own words hasn't been completely erased.
Jesus.
That's why I want to keep this channel going.
Yeah.
Yes, it's to show the reality of Japan to people outside. But more than that, it's so I don't abandon myself. This little story is my way of not giving up on me. Number 4. Let the parts of the world I can't see appear in the comments. Finally, I have a favor to ask. I'm just one person, 23 years old, living in a small apartment in Tokyo, commuting to Shibuya, trying to survive on 170,000 yen. My view is extremely limited. So I want the comments section of this video to become a place where the world's different work realities and experiences show up.
Oh, nice.
If you work in another country, please tell me, why do people in your country work so much?
They don't.
What's the biggest pressure?
I don't know.
And what do you feel is at least better than Japan in your system? If you're older and you overworked in your 20s like I'm doing now, I really want to hear from you too. What would you say to your 23-year-old self? What do you regret about the way you worked back then?
20-year work self. I still have a narrow look into life, and I read I really don't want to work, so I throw myself at games. So outside of the specific field of work, I don't know anything else. So I regret that I didn't catch up the trend or spend a little bit time on learning something. That's all.
What are you glad you did looking back?
Glad I did. Glad I did. I don't know. Haven't fucking glad it did something, I guess.
If you leave that there, it's not just for me. Someone else watching this video, somewhere in the world, might find a hint they needed in your story.
Yeah. True.
Thank you so much for watching my video all the way to the end. It really
It's
means a
really
lot.
good.
If you want to help me keep this little story going, please subscribe, leave a like, and if you'd like to support me even more, check out the links in the description. Alright, see you again in the next episode of Real Tokyo.
Okay, that was the reality of a Japanese salaryman. And that's the first fresh grad. Let's see the common. Yep, true. They're saying that Albania saying that isn't a thing as a dream job because no one dream of having to work. Yep, there it is. Fellow work culture Japan created a 23 years old woman, young man with a thought process of 40 years is quite telling. Yeah, true. Windows 2000 Home Edition. I have been who quit job, open a small pottery shop, and work 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. on weekday. Had less money now. It looks so happy. I hope you can find what truly make you happy too. Yep. Then $1,000 a month is absolutely criminal, especially with those kind of hours. In the former East Germany, they used to say, "We pretend to work and they pretend to pay us." Okay. I wanted to go to this. Yeah, okay. Let's check out his channel. I think. He is really rising. You know, really rising. Is it him? Okay, quite normal. Member only. Yeah. Okay. Lunch at Ichiran Ramen. That's it. This is my probably first or second uh reaction. Even though it's not reaction. It's just kind of me talking over this fucking video. So subscribe to Lost Salary Man in Japan. Help a young man out. Help a young man out. Well, I guess I hope to get find a fucking job that I don't hate that much. See you guys next time. Stay safe, mate. I will just randomly stream things that I'm less like organized and thoughtful or mature like him. I stream just random time things I play, but yeah, really fucking messed up. Thought about fucking like the meaning what's the meaning of my life, but don't have the courage to put an end to my life yet. So okay, next time, hopefully with a better story and more cheerful one. That's it. Goodbye.